Yes, good evening. Come on in, USA, Canada, International, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, YouTuber, host with the most misunderstood, lonely nomad, unstoppable, independent podcaster, and rookie podcaster of Laurelton, Queens, New York. And you're rocking and hanging out with me on the 233rd episode of Off the Meat Rack Chainz New York podcast, live and direct from StreamYard alongside with YouTube, and alongside of myself is the podcast show page, Instagram live feed. Make sure you follow the show on Instagram and turn on your notifications so you can see me in action on Instagram live on each episode recording, and I will get to where you can listen to the streaming platforms on the go later on in this episode. All right. Without further ado, if you'd like to make a charitable donation to support this podcast, you're more than welcome to actually do this. And you can do this by going to this Cash App right here, which is G Money Stacks 555, $ capital G, lowercase MONEY, capital S, lowercase TACKZ 555. It doesn't matter if you have a lot of money or not. It's all about doing the best you can as a human being on whatever amount of money you decide to choose to donate that you desire will be appreciated. So there you have it right there. And also, you can leave a 5-star rating and a review on Podchaser, Podfriend, Apple Podcast, and alongside with Spotify. Of course, you can share the episodes on Spotify as well. So don't you worry about a thing. If you miss any previous episodes whatsoever, don't worry. Everything's all uploaded to every streaming platform, including YouTube, which is where we go to segue here. And speaking of YouTube, go ahead and grab that subscribe button for me on the YouTube channel page of G Money Stacks 555, where you see all the New York episodes uploaded, posted to the YouTube channel page. Tap that noti bell so you can be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream. Actually, enable alerts. Okay, let me just say this. Enable alerts while you're tapping that noti bell so you can be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream, and alongside with leaving a like and a comment along with the episodes. Hold on. Yeah, sorry about the plane, folks. All right, let's keep going here. As I was saying before, the plane was rolling by. I was saying make sure you enable alerts and tap that noti bell so you be reminded of when the show goes on the air via live stream, along with the reminder of the time of the recording. Leave a like and a comment along with the episode topics. Stay tuned for more video content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes. And also, may I add, make sure you listen, stream, and watch the episodes in case you miss any of the episodes. Don't you worry. And be sure to download the episodes, share the episodes, especially on Spotify, especially YouTube, and anywhere else where you listen to podcasts. And of course, be sure to tell a friend to another friend, and I will handle the rest on where you can listen to the podcast episodes later on in the show. All right. And now we're gonna get to some transit news and stuff, man. So let's get into it right now. And Yeah, yeah, let's do it. New York Mass Transit Files right now, man. Let's do this. Yes. Um, yes. Our first transit news topic that we need to get into has to do with the MTA. And speaking of the MTA on amny.com, yes, so here's what's happening here. The new year has brought a renewed focus on two major MTA issues: restoring ridership and increasing public safety. Those aren't new priorities for us. Indeed, we've been working hard on both fronts since the slamdemic began almost 3 years ago. What's changed recently is we've made significant progress. Final counts for the year show the subways carried 1 billion riders in 2022. The first time the system hit that benchmark since 2019, representing an increase of 240 million customers, or approximately 40% over the previous year. We celebrated the milestone at the 161st Street Yankee Stadium station shortly after our lucky 1 billionth customer. Sasha Sasha Salazar came through the turnstiles. I was touched by her remarks at the ceremony we had, where she talked about the importance of mass transit to all New Yorkers. It's an essential part of our daily lives, whether you live in Melrose, Midwood, or Midtown. And the more people that return to the system, the better for the region's economy and continued recovery. All MTA agencies saw impressive ridership growth last year. In addition to the subway's preliminary data, also shows Metro North Railroad is up 65.9%. The Long Island Railroad is up 56.9%. New York City buses are up 13.4%. Access a ride is up 11.3%. The traffic on MTA bridges and tunnels is up 7%. It's an incredible achievement when you consider the hurdles standing in our way: new waves of COVID, the enduring reality of remote work, and yes, concerns about public safety. And kudos to Governor Hochul and Mayor Adams for leaning in on the issue time and time again by increasing police presence on subway platforms and trains, by deploying mental health resources, and by helping us expand our robust surveillance camera program. And these efforts are yielding real results. In the last 10 weeks since the governor and mayor surged police into the subways, overall crime is down 15% versus 2021. Total arrests in December increased by nearly 50%, and so far, overall crime in January is already down by more than 26% compared to the same time last year. Still, we know we're only as good as our last week, so we won't be easing up on safety initiatives anytime soon. It's important to continue investing in the network, not only as it pertains to safety, but on the capital side as well. MTA Construction and Development obligated a record $11 billion on new projects last year that will bring our infrastructure into the 21st century, improve the customer experience, and advance equity for decades to come. Hold on. Yes, $11 billion. All right. Um, yes. Let's see, where was I? Okay, century. But none of that matters unless we get our operating budget in order. it it no longer makes sense that we should rely on heavily on fair revenue from our customers, many of them working class New Yorkers, to balance the books. We need a funding model that includes new steady sources of revenue from the city and state government. I've said it, I said it what seems like a million times. Public transportation is a necessity, like police, fire, and sanitation. Governor Hochul called the MCA the lifeblood of the region in her state address. We couldn't agree more, and we're hopeful to see proposals emerge during budget season in Albany that change the model to benefit all New Yorkers. Um, all right, so up next in transit, new chapter in the Grand Central Madison. All right, so the first Long Island Railroad train to Grand Central Terminal arrived deep under the East Side Wednesday morning, finally realizing a decades long dream to bring the LIRR to the transit hub and signaling a new chapter for transit in the New York region. The Grand Central Direct Shuttle train left Jamaica Queens at 10:46 a.m. on January 25th, carrying Governor Kathy Hochul, MTA Chair General Lieber, and 900 other commuters, MTA officials, and rail fans hoping to catch the historic ride. Traversing the railroad's tunnel under the East River, the train pulled into Grand Central Madison Terminal, some 17 stories below Manhattan, 21 minutes later at 11:07. Hold on. End quote. My message to New Yorkers: come see this amazing new facility, Lieber told reporters after ascending with Hoko from the train platform on one of New York's longest escalators. We love Grand Central. It is the temple of mass transit, and now it has a new chapter. The 714,000 square foot, 1,000 foot long terminal directly below Grand Central is the first major new passenger train terminal in the United States in 67 years, Hochul said, and the first major expansion of the LIRR in more than a century. For its first few weeks, Grand Central Madison will only host the shuttle to and from Jamaica, intended to allow riders to get acquainted with the new terminal in the new no excuse me the in the coming weeks. Though when schedules are finalized, the terminal will enable a 40% increase in train capacity on the LIRR and save about 40 no excuse me 30 to 40 minutes off the commutes of Long Islanders heading to the east side, who presently have to go all the way to Penn Station only to schlep back east to get to work. End quote. For our communities, the people we represent, the ones we care um the most about, we are giving them something that's precious. We're giving them time in their lives, said Hochul. As a mom, I know extra 30 to 40 minutes to be back with your kids, helping them pack the lunches, do the homework at the end of the day, maybe even taking care of yourself a little bit. Sorry about that. Had to make sure the plane went by. Um, all right, so this is all a gift. The project also facilitates a more seamlessly integrated rail network throughout the New York metropolitan area. Now, someone traveling from Long Island to Westchester County could take the an LIRR train to Grand Central and transfer in the same facility to a Metro North train instead of hiking it from Penn Station to Grand Central. Very interesting concept right here. Um, which is very new for a lot of New Yorkers. So anyway, um, yeah, yeah. Let's see. So work is currently underway. Work is currently underway on another mega project to bring the same capabilities to Penn Station, constructing new Metro North stations in the Bronx and bringing that commuter railroad into the West Side um, terminus. Taking advantage of that integration, the MTA is promoting its newly 24/7 city ticket, charging riders $5 to travel between commuter rail stations situated in New York City, even if the trip involves a transfer between the LARR and Metro North at Grand Central. Wow, $5. $5. All right. Yes, so riders traveling outside the five boroughs can use a combo ticket, adding $8 to the base fare to transfer between commuter rail lines and travel throughout the metropolitan area. $8. Yes. So, in quote, I think it's great that we're expanding our transit network, says Sterling Tejada, a Brooklyn resident marveling at the new terminal Wednesday morning. It will benefit so many riders, especially those from Long Island. They will actually save time. They wouldn't really have to transfer to excuse me, a, to a subway to get to the east side. So this cuts time. This is a really good investment. The governor said her Wednesday morning ride went pretty smooth, but the road to this moment was anything but. Um, in quote, she says, um, it was quite a journey to get here. I'm not talking about the 22-minute ride from Jamaica Station. I'm literally talking about something that started under 8 of my predecessor governors, Hochul said. It's been 9 governors who've worked to get this accomplished. People lived and died, never seen this come to fruition until now, until this very moment. Transit wags first floated, bringing the LIRR to the east side way back in 1963, before the MTA even existed. A new tunnel under the East River was completed in 1972, but with the city's fiscal health on the brink, civic leaders abandoned the project and it lay dormant for nearly 3 decades. Hold on. The project was revived in the 1990s with plans to connect the tunnel to the LIRR right away and Grand Central. And in 2001, MTA officials estimated it would be complete by 2011 at a cost of $4.3 billion. Wow. And here we are right now. And but the mega project became something of a mega boondoggle, suffering from chronic mismanagement, frequent construction delays, and massive cost overruns under numerous leaders in government and at the MTA. Hmm. Delays. Jeez. Jeez, man. Yeah, that right there, you can't have any delays, man. That's a no-no right there for me. Hold on. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to lower it because of the planes flying by my house. You know what I mean? Anyway, man, that's a no-no for the MTA with delays and stuff, man. That's a no-no right there for me. Yeah. Let me see. Who is that? All right. Um all right. So the final price tag more than a decade late sits at around $11.6 billion, one of the most expensive infrastructure projects in American history. Wow. Wow. Just wow. Okay, so yeah, so as some of the state's most powerful officials, both Hochul and Lieber to an extent took ownership for the project's chaos as it finally came to fruition. But even more so, the two spoke of one another as political soulmates of sorts, brought together by destiny to restore order to a mess of legendary proportions. proportions. Hold on. All right. Let me see. Yes. When Lieber took the helm of the MTA's construction division in 2017, he said government officials he spoke with said to me in my early days at the MTA, don't waste your time. Don't sully your reputation by becoming too associated with East Side Access. Lieber ignored them. He tore the project apart and put it back together again and pledged repeatedly to get it done by the end of 2022. He said a grace period of 3 weeks was warranted after opening plans were snagged by a faulty fan, posing issues for the terminal's ventilation. Lieber said that core lessons had been learned from Eastside Access that the MTA has already internalized for its current and future mega projects, from the Second Avenue subway to revitalizing Penn Station to making the entire subway system accessible for those with disabilities. They include don't balkanize work into dozens of separate, oft overlap overlapping contracts, and instead utilize design build to consolidate work and create accountability. Have a total detailed schedule itemizing every piece of work that needs doing. And don't be afraid of painful but temporary service shutdowns to quickly complete work on projects improving service long term. The governor who brought Lieber on as chair and CEO full time last year had a simpler takeaway: bring in General Lieber a lot earlier. Hold on. Far from being a laughing stock, the pair said that current and future mega projects will be seen as an international model of efficient capital work in a dense urban core. Pressed by AM New York Metro, Hochul said New Yorkers can expect to be riding one of the most ambitious projects she championed, the Interborough Express, a new light rail line connecting Brooklyn and Queens on a much speedier and more cost efficient timeline. 25 years from now, we'll say we've been riding the IBX for a long time, said the governor. It is a is it a major project? Yes. It is going to cost money. Yes. I am I am afraid to lean into it and make commitments. No, this is what we do. This is how we change the trajectory of this state. We identify projects that improve people's lives, make it easier to be a New Yorker. That's what this is all about. Wow. All right. I gotta say, man, I want to make some noise. Um, wait a minute. Wait a minute here. I want to make some noise because this is very, 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 very important and interesting to actually have mega projects and then get it done. So this is very, very, very cool of Kathy Hochul, and of course, um, the MTA doing their part instead of worrying about fare hikes and stuff. How about worry about the people in the communities? You know what I'm saying? So I would have to, I would like to make some noise for the MTA. All right. All right. All right. So let's see. Let's see. All right. Let's get into our next segment, which is called the transit. No, hold on. Let's get into our next segment, which is called Chatting All the Jazz. And unfortunately, we got a passing, and it involves Barbara Walters. So let's get into it. Chatting on the Jazz, man. Let's go. All right. Unfortunately, we have a passing, and it involves Barbara Walters. Um, I'll fill you in on what's going on with that one right there, though. In in a sec. Um, yeah. So let's see. Let's see. Um, Barbara Walters. Okay, here we go. And this is according to TMZ, and of course Barbara Walters, one of the biggest and most recognizable news anchors in the world, has died. Yeah. Okay, so um all right, so we're told she died at her home, surrounded by loved ones. Barbara had been in declining health for several years. The legendary ABC broadcaster passed away Friday in New York City. Barbara had receded from public view the past several years, opting to live a private life. She hadn't been seen out and about since at least 2016. Barbara's 60 plus year career was in part catapulted by her coverage of President John F. Kennedy's assassination in 1963. She came on air to report on the story alongside anchor Hugh Downs, giving a man on the street perspective from New York City. Of course, she went on to become one of the longest serving journalists in the game, first working for NBC's Today Show as a writer and researcher and working her way up in the network through the 60s and early 70s, eventually becoming the first female co-host. In 1976, Barbara jumped over to ABC, landing a job on their evening news program. She was the first woman to anchor a network news show, but her co-host was not having it, and it made success almost impossible. Not long after, she became a fixture of a regular contributor and the eventual co-host of the network's 2020 news magazine program, and appeared on the show for decades. Some of her biggest interviews were featured on 2020 as well as other shows which included notable face-to-face convos with folks like Catherine um Hep- Hepburn, Fidel Castro, Monica Lewinsky, Michael Jackson, Patrick Swayze, Egyptian President Anwar Sadat, Oprah, Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, China's ex-secretary of the Communist Party, um, Jian Zemin, Vladimir Putin, John Wayne, Mike Tyson, Barbara Streisand, Lucille Ball, Muhammad Ali, Fred Astaire, Henry Kissinger, Ringo Starr, Walter Cronkite, Willie Nelson, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Christopher Reeve, Hugo Chavez, Tom Cruise, Anna Wintour, Justin Bieber, Syrian Prez, Bashir al Assad, and every single American president. The list goes on and on and on and on. If you can think of a famous person, Barbara probably interviewed them, plain and simple. Her achievements go well beyond just that, though. Walters also co created and co hosted ABC's popular daytime talk show, The View, which became one of her main focuses professionally after semi retiring from hosting 2020 and 2004. She stayed on The View through mid May 2014 and continued to make guest appearances after her official send off. Barbara's final on air interview with Donald Trump for ABC News in 2015. Her last public appearance was reportedly in 2016. She hasn't been seen since then. The last time we got her on camera was in 2014 when she graciously signed autographs. She'd been married 4 times and had dated some very high profile people, including notorious McCarthy era attorney Roy Cohn, Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan, U.S. Senator John Warner, Senator Edward Brooke, Pulitzer Prize winner Robert Neal Butler. She had one daughter with Lee Goober, Jacqueline Dina Goober. Barbara was a staple in pop culture too, often portrayed on SNL by several different cast members over the years. She also once spoofed herself by appearing on Weekend Update. She was inducted into the Television Hall of Fame in 1989 and received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in '07. Barbara has won countless daytime and primetime Emmy Awards over the course of her career, as well as many other lifetime achievement accolades. Barbara's publicist, Cindy Berger, tells TMZ she lived her life with no regrets. She was a trailblazer, not only for female journalists, but for all women. Um, Barbara Walters was 93. So, so sleep in power, rest in power to Barbara Walters. All right. Um, all right. So let's try to lighten shit up though, man. You know what I'm saying? Actually, there's another terrible news we gotta get to, and this is pertaining to Apple Music. This is pertaining to Apple Music. Let's get into it. Okay. So a New York man filed a class action lawsuit against Apple on December 24th, alleging that the Apple Watch's blood oximeter has a racial bias against individuals with darker skin tones. The blood oxygen app is available on Apple Watch Series 6 and newer and can measure the oxygen level of your blood on demand directly from your wrist, providing you with insights into your overall wellness, Apple explains. New York resident Alex Morales alleges that he purchased an Apple Watch between 2020 and 2021 and was aware that the watch
purported to measure blood oxygen levels, and he believed it did this without regard to skin tone, according to the lawsuit, which was filed in the Southern District of New York. The lawsuit further alleges that during the coronavirus slamdemic, researchers confirmed the clinical significance of racial bias of pulse oximetry using patients' records. What the hell? What the hell is going on here? What is going on here? What is going on here? That's the question. That's the question I got here, man. Like, really? Really, though? Yeah, I'll be mad too. You know what I mean? I would be so mad if it was to happen to me. One moment. Oh boy, that right there, that right there is just despicable. That's some despicable shit, man. For a company like that to do some shit like that. Yes, so for decades, there have been reports that such devices were significantly less accurate in measuring blood oxygen levels based on skin color, the lawsuit reads. The world significance of this bias lay unaddressed until the middle of the coronavirus slamdemic, which converged with a greater awareness of structural racism, which exists in many aspects of society. Hmm. Okay, so there's more to this story actually. So we're going to keep going on this. So Apple did not immediately respond to a request. Um, hold on a minute. Hold on a second here. Hang on. That ain't what I saw. Hold on. Hold on. Let this load. Not exactly what I had in mind. Let's see. All right. Apple did not immediately respond to a request for comment on Monday. The tech company notes on its website that the Blood Oxygen app is only designed for general fitness and wellness purposes. Blood oxygen app measurements are not intended for medical use, including self-diagnosis or consultation with a doctor, Apple writes. All right, let's see. Okay, they really need to get their shit together, man. That's some foul shit that they did. That's some that's some major fucked up shit that they did. I'm sorry, but like to use bias and racism to talk about a person's skin tone, like I don't like this shit's been going on for quite some time, but I'm not even gonna waste my anger on this shit though, man. Believe it or not, I'm not gonna do that because what I'm gonna do to this story, what I'm going to do to this story is going to be in the fucking blender. And oh man, oh man, oh man. Okay, let's see what else we got on the agenda on what to talk about next. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. We continues rolling toward full recovery. I wait. Continues. Wait. Um. Yeah. Did not even see that coming. Wait. Let me cover that one right here. MTA continues. Um. Recovery. All right. Let's see. Um. Let me take a look here. Oh yeah, I covered that already. I covered that already. Um. Okay, so next topic has to do with let's see. Just a minute. All right. Our next topic has to do with the resolution, the resolution to squashing the ground beef between Romeo and Master P. So let's talk about that one right there. Um, let's talk about that one right there. Um, this one was crazy. This one's a crazy one when I saw this on the gram. So, all right. So, and this is from Hip Hop DX. Master P and Romeo Miller are entering 2023 as allies, not adversaries, after squashing their feud. The father and son duo became embroiled in a bitter and public back and forth in the run up to Christmas, with both men airing out their grievances with one another on social media. But as 2022 came to a close on Saturday, December 31st, Master P and Romeo came together to hash out their differences and leave their issues in the past. In an Instagram post welcomed by many of his 2.1 million followers, Romeo shared a photo of him and his father embracing each other after while revealing they had very hard conversations in order to mend their relationship. Um, in order to be used, you have to be willing to be misunderstood and humiliated. Sometimes he wrote, "I'm willing to fall on my sword for mine. It was never about parent versus child or this false narrative or that. It was about doing whatever had to be done for the growth of my family. Today, December 31st, me and my father, Master P, had very hard conversations, ironically outside in the rain. But in order for my generation to grow, that communication has to be had and reciprocated on both sides, the good, the bad, and the ugly. No matter the journey ahead, our family can truly begin to heal, and I believe many others will use our story as an example to learn from. Romeo ended his message by paying tribute to his late sister, Tatiana Miller, who passed away in May 2022 due to an accidental overdose, writing, "What a way to close the year." Um, Vivri, um, live, love, and forgive. Um, Master P shared the same photo on his own Instagram page, along with a message emphasizing growth, self accountability, family unity, and a focus on the future. Happy New Year. New Year's 2023 is all about forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead. Pressing forward the goal. Philippines 313, he wrote. As a parent, I'm growing, taking self accountability and educating my family and the next generation. He added, love takes growth and forgiveness. Seek God first, and everything else will fall into place. Of course, by Romeo Miller. And to all of my kids, we got. Meek Mill, Ludacris, Busta Rhymes, Deion Sanders, Isaiah Thomas, and Lena um, Wait were among those who applauded Master P and Romeo's reconciliation. Love this, Busta wrote in P's comments section, while Ludacris suggested they should frame this photo. My dad dead. I hated seeing that. Meek added somewhat mournfully. Master P and Romeo's feud began when the latter appeared to call out his father for posting about the recent suicide of DJ Stephen Twitch boss, but allegedly neglecting Tatiana's mental health struggles. Today was a boiling point. He wrote in an Instagram story, "I seen a man avoid his own children's struggle with suicide and depression, but post another man whom passed who passed today that he doesn't even know. Y'all idols be lost. Better stop following the blind. Watch when it's revealed." Romeo continued to take shots at Master P in a poem titled The Tree of Trauma, in which he posted questions to his father, such as, why is it that I'm soaring and my siblings are not? And how come it took my daughter being born to finally realize that we have blindly been feeding the enemy? The No Limit Records founder hit back at his estranged son, accusing him of being ungrateful for the upbringing and opportunities he provided him, while telling him he won't tolerate disrespect. This new generation of kids need to stop blaming their parents for everything. How do they think they got to where they are without their parents making sacrifices for them? P responded on Instagram, mental illness is real and so many families are tragically affected by it, especially when there is added trauma like death of a loved one. After advising that social media isn't a good place for healing, P turned his attention to Romeo's son. I love you. Stop trying to get people to feel sorry for you. And let's come up with a solution, he wrote. You can come talk to your father and your family like a man. You have kids too. No family is perfect, but together with God, we can heal and get through this. Um, and the caption read, I wouldn't wish this on no parent, especially when you try to do everything you can for your kids. Romeo wrote, what's the plan? You are either part of the problem or the solution. I love you, and the door is always open for you, but I won't tolerate disrespect. I haven't talked to you or seen you in months. God knows I've tried to do my best. The fight continued to unfold on social media, with Romeo accusing his father of rebuffing his attempts to reconnect with him, portraying an image to the public that is false and withholding earnings from the family's Rap Snacks brand. Master P, meanwhile, labeled his son entitled and spoiled while claiming his grievances were about money, not Tatiana's death. So this is a recap of what happened, though, man. So I'm actually glad that they actually squashed this shit. Um, so nobody else on social media can actually see this, because this is just um, it's just you know, you hear about you know you hear about people on social media, especially Black Twitter, who are basically trying to play a narrative on things as far as like people's situations and stuff. So that's why I'm not on Twitter, because of all that and the whole Elon Musk shit. So that to me is just not something I really want to endeavor. So I'm glad they squashed their beefs, man. The ground beef. I'm really glad they did, because you know, it. It is what it is, man. They're not enemies. They're allies. So pretty much that's what it is, though. So there you have it. Um. All right. So let's see. Let's see what else we have on the agenda. Okay. So also we need to talk about logic, man. And this episode is titled "Logical Sense." So let's talk about logic. Yes, so here we are. So Logic makes a statement on hiphopdx.com, and here is what he has to say. Logic has shared some views on rap, explaining that he doesn't see it as a contest because he wants everyone in the game to succeed. In a new freestyle titled Like a Playwright delivered on Instagram, Logic, donning a bathrobe, spits about how he's a rapper by day but a dad by night, and that everyone should spend time with their families this holiday season. And yes, that's fucking dope that he wrote that. Logic, known for telling stories like a playwright, stay black brothers and sisters is how we stay right. Logic raps. It's that midnight marauder shit, flow seamless over the beats. It's kind of like a partnership. I never even thought of it, cuz see, for me it's not a contest. I want all my brothers to win. All my brothers all my brothers to win. Yeah. And the new rap also here's Logic shout out his son Bobby, who he's been teaching to produce over the past few months. The Maryland rapper posted a video to his Instagram back in November that shows him handing a drum kit off to his 2-year-old son, whom he welcomed in 2020 with wife Brittany Noel. Just press these here, Logic says to his boy in the clip, who is toying around with the different buttons, just the colors, baby. 3 6 Mafia's Juicy J was seemingly impressed with what he saw, hopping in the comments section to inquire about purchasing a beat from Logic's son. Man, that's dope. Tell Lil Bobby I need a beat for my new album, he wrote. Logic's latest Instagram bars comes after he rapped on his North American Vinyl Verse tour with Wiz Khalifa earlier this year. The tour kicked off on July 27th and concluded in St. Louis, Missouri on September 2nd. 24K Golden, DJ Drama, Fed the God, and C. Castro also appeared at numerous stops along the way, with Burner and Ruby Rose performing on a few select dates as well. The tour was in support of Logic's album Vinyl Days, which dropped on June 17th, and features appearances from Action Bronson, Russ, Currency, RZA, AZ, The Game, and others. The project marked his final Def Jam release, which he left earlier this year in favor in a deal at BMG that would allow him to own his masters. The move to BMG serves as Logic's first label change since dropping his debut album, Under Pressure, on Def Jam in 2014. There's a lot of bullshit in the music industry. Logic said of the move in a statement. I'm just glad to move on to a place where I can be independent and respected as an artist and feel like I'm in control of my career. Meanwhile, Logic recently recruited Grammy Award winning singer songwriter Nora Jones to help him excuse me with an acoustic rendition of his hit song Fade Away. The rapper joined Jones on her Nora Jones is Playing Along podcast, where the pair spoke and created intimate, stripped back versions of the rapper's tracks. Of course, the video for a video for the rendition of Fade Away was released on Tuesday, December 27th. Um, you can check out the video on there too, on YouTube. Fade Away was the third single to appear on Logic's blockbuster sophomore effort, The Incredible True Story, which debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200 and was eventually certified platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America. And we got some more Logic news, but let's make some noise for Logic and his longevity career, and for being an independent artist. We need more independent artists, especially that's in their music career. The same way we need more independent podcasters. You don't want to be under a damn contract, man, knowing that they'll shit on you. You know what I mean? So that so that's just how I feel about this though. So let's make some noise right here. And more Logic news that we got to get to right here in the Logical Sense episode right here. Logic hits the studio. Logic is no stranger to working with some of the finest names in movies and TV, but his latest non-musical collaborator may catch even his biggest fans by surprise. In a video uploaded to Instagram on Saturday, December 31st, the Maryland-bred lyricist gave fans a sneak peek at a studio session with actor Rainn Wilson, who's best known for playing Dwight Schrute in The Office. My man is making beats right now, and he's really snapping, Logic says in the clip before turning the camera to Wilson, who can be seen tapping away on an MPC in the rapper's home studio as a jazzy boom bap beat plays in the background. Okay, MPC. For those of you who may not know what that is, I'm gonna look it up right now so y'all can really get a better understanding of what this is. So, okay, so what does MPC stand for? Let's see. Okay, so MPC stands for marginal propensity to consume, is a component of Keynesian macroeconomic theory and is calculated as the change in consumption divided by the change in income. Ooh, yeah, but wait. But in Urban Dictionary, the Urban Dictionary version, let's get a look at the Urban Dictionary version. So NPC, so a person who disconnects from society and or relationships with other people, they have no social value, and contribute nothing to society when they become an NPC. Becoming an NPC has no time interval. It can last for 5 minutes, or in worst cases, even a lifetime. Oh wow. So I don't know about all that, but no. So okay, so wait a minute. So NPC. So NPC. Okay, so an abbreviation of MIDI Production Center, a line of samplers sequences designed by a Japanese company, Akai. The NPC has become very closely associated with hip hop, and many producers claim to use an NPC. Interesting. Interesting. That's very interesting right here, man. Um, okay. Okay. So that's yeah. So an NPC, that's what NPC stands for and what the definition pertains to. Okay, so an NPC. All right, so here it is. You may be black, Logic jokes, to which Wilson replies, right, with a comedic shrug. Look who stopped by to cook some beats. The Bobby Tarantino rapper added in his caption, playing off the white's love of the vegetable in the popular NBC kick, the popular NBC sitcom. Logic and Wilson's unlikely cook-up session was met with excitement by some of the formers rap peers, such as Lex Luger, Nems, and Made in TYO. Wow, fire emojis. He's definitely my fave on The Office now. Luger commented on the post, while Nems added, "My guy Dwight, legendary." um, Logic isn't the only Office fan in hip hop. The White Schrute has also been referenced in songs by Paul Wall, Michael Christmas. Michael Christmas. Oh, wow. 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 That's funny. That's funny and interesting right here, man. Um oh man. Yeah, Michael Christmas and Das Racist. Oh wow. While Childish Gambino, Post Malone, and Lucky have name dropped Steve Carell's character Michael Scott. Das Racist? Really? Really though? Like you gotta be kidding me, man. Really though? That sounds really that sounds really weird. Okay, I don't know why you would name yourself that, but that's that's definitely an epic fail right there to name yourself that. That's an epic fail right there, man. To name yourself Daz racist. Come on, son. Like really, that's fucking ridiculous right there. Oh my gosh, man. Hold on 1 second. Okay, two of the names That's very, very weird to me. That's very weird to me. It's Michael Christmas that really had me laughing, and then that's racist. That's crazy right there, man. So, anyway, while it remains to be seen whether any music will come from his studio session with Rainn Wilson, Logic is still looking to work with more conventional names. Conventional names. Sorry. Back in November, the 32-year-old revealed he's down to do a joint album with producer extraordinaire The Alchemist. Um, of course, at Alchemist is one of the greatest producers of all time. It would be an honor. He tweeted in response to a fan asking about a potential collaboration between the two. Um, Al, we could finish an album in a weekend, brother. Let's do it. Logic has also teased a full length project with Madlib, which has spawned a handful of early singles. But as he told Apple Music's Zane Lowe last year, the bandana beatmaker's inability to remember the samples, of course, owing to a shrooms trip, has put the brakes on its release. Oh my gosh. Do you know what happens to a person when they end up going on shrooms and shit like that? It's not just because they're not gonna remember certain shit though, man. But one thing I know for sure, when a person's on shrooms or whatever edibles, whatever it is, whatsoever, they end up crashing and burning, man. Oh, and oh man. And and oh boy. Yeah, that too. Okay, one more sound effect to play. Oh my gosh. One more sound effect that I want to play too. Hold on a minute. Hold on.
Why don't you look me
Yeah, sorry about that. Because of the plane. Yeah, let's hear this one more time.
Why don't you look me
Yeah. Oh man, that is so funny. I'm sorry, man, but I had to do it. I had to do it though. It's just to make a point about people being on shrooms and they're not gonna remember everything. They're not gonna remember shit though. Oh man. Oh Lord, that's funny right there, man. Oh Lord. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Yes, so end quote. End quote. We did not no hold on. We did that in a weekend and Egon um um Alapat Madlib's former business partner sent me basic every Madlib beat that he's ever done, he explained. Hold on. All right, before I continue this, man, shout outs to the crew from Pick Six with Noah and Nick. They have a podcast going on right here. Make sure you check them out on Spotify, iHeartRadio, or any other apps where you get your podcast right there. And also follow them on Instagram as well. I guarantee you probably get their point of view on some athletes. So check them out. Check out their episodes. So there you go. All right. So let's see. I mean gigs and gigs and gigs from 2005. I went through and made my perfect album of all my favorite beats. Then I just rapped on them all. He continued, Madlib comes over and he's like, "Yo, Bobby, this is crazy." I was like, "Really? You like it?" He's like, "I love it." I'm like, "Wow." He's like, "There's just one thing. I don't remember any of these fucking samples. We can't clear it. I was on mushrooms 15 years ago. Uh when I made this beat. I don't know." Oh wow. Wow. And I mean wow. Oh man. How the hell you don't remember? That's funny. That's the funniest shit that I ever fucking heard in my entire life, man. Just now. Oh man. So, um, one album that didn't suffer from behind the scenes delays was Vinyl Days. Logic's star-studded seventh studio album, which arrived in July 2022. The project was recorded in just 12 days and marked his final release on Def Jam Records, with whom he had been vocal about his frustrations over the years. End quote. That's my favorite part. I'm off Def Jam, he said on Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast. You can check out that show as well on every streaming platform. Following its release, I made that album so I could leave. And guess what? I left them with some of the dopest shit I could give them. It's not like I just wiped my ass. What I am excited about, I'm excited to be independent. I'm excited to do my thing. He added, in quote, "I'm really happy to know that I represented the low key, was the face of the label, one of the illest hip hop labels of all time, and that I sold millions and millions of records and gave them billions and billions of streams, and that it was a good partnership. And I couldn't be happier to get the fuck out." Well, yes, so let's make some noise for Logic leaving Def Jam and doing his thing independently. Hmm. Let's see. Let me see. Some explosions is going to be in order. All right. Let's see what else we got on the agenda in this episode. We gotta talk about. Yes, very last two topics we gotta get to is the weekend. Yes, yes, the weekend. Yeah, we need to talk about the weekend and his anniversaries. Um, so so here's the weekend according to Hip Hop DX. The weekend looks like he might be ringing in the new year by celebrating his 2022 album Dawn FM ahead of its 1 year anniversary. On Wednesday, December 28th, the EXO vocalist shared a music video medley with his 17 million Twitter followers featuring candid moments from his sprawling After Hours Till Dawn stadium tour. It appeared at first that the weekend was simply creating hype for his moves in the new year, as he tweeted, EXO about to fuck up 2023, along with the 2 minute video. However, he also responded to a fan reply in the conversation thread, seemingly teasing the impending arrival of the music video for his Dawn FM album track, Is There Someone Else? To be specific, Abel responded by tweeting, I feel um hold on. He says in quote, I feel is there someone else is there someone else music video ish to the fan account who inquired about how he felt about his After Hours follow up project in light of its upcoming January 7th release anniversary. Um, and while an official release date for the Is There Someone Else visual has yet to be revealed, the news of the arrival of its adds yet another exciting layer to what has been another banner year in the illustrious career of the weekend. In addition to the Recording Industry Association of America awarding the Canadian singer a diamond plaque for his 2015 single Can't Feel My Face, one of my favorite songs, Abel was also celebrated for his achievements outside of music after being named the recipient of the 2022 Allen, Allen Slate Humanitarian Spirit Award for his continued dedication to social activism work. The Weeknd also managed to take his talents to the big screen as his new single "Nothing Is Lost." You Give Me Strength helped ramp up the hype of the director James Cameron's latest blockbuster fantasy film, Avatar: The Way of Water soundtrack, which the movie is still number one in the box office. Now it appears all that there is left to do for the weekend is finally line up a collaboration with intergalactic MC Kid Cudi. Cudi discussed the potential collaborations on Twitter, explaining that the weekend and Tyler, the creator, most likely won't work with him. Cudi said that regardless of them not happening, there are no hard feelings. I think the question is, would they ever work with me? Um, Cuddy replied to a fan question about collaborations, and I doubt it, especially Tyler. Believe me, I've asked. Abel's the homie though, but I think that ship has sailed. It's all good. And of course, in other the weekend news that we need to get to, um another one is so, The Weeknd has released a new horror movie inspired music video for Is There Someone Else to celebrate the 1 year anniversary of his recent album Dawn FM. On Saturday, January 7th, the EXO vocalist released the cinematic visual, which appears to reworked the sinister plot of the 2000 film American Psycho, starring Christian Bale, into a stylish and promiscuous tale of love and suspense. Ahead of the video's release, the weekend took to Twitter to express his excitement for the 1 year anniversary of Dawn FM. Dawn FM turns one tonight. List the best tunes. Go, he tweeted. Of course, you could check it out on YouTube on his page. Retweeting a tweet from Buzzing Pop, the weekend also acknowledged another new achievement after becoming the third artist overall and first black artist in Spotify history to have 10 songs each with over 1 billion streams. Last month, the weekend celebrated a, a- another milestone, this time for his hit single Blinding Lights, which recently became the highest streamed song on Spotify in history after reaching the threshold of more than 3 billion streams. Additionally, the Recording Industry Association of America awarded the Canadian singer a diamond plaque last month for his 2015 single Can't Feel My Face, making the weekend the third solo artist and fourth artist overall to achieve four diamond certifications. He is currently tied for second place on the all-time list for most diamond plaques with Post Malone and Imagine Dragons. Imagine Dragons. Oh wow. Oh, that's another funny one right here, man. Oh my gosh, man. What is with everybody in their weird nicknames, man? That I swear, man. So oh man. Oh my gosh. All right. All right. The Weeknd is also the first Canadian artist to score at least four diamond plaques, while his fellow Toronto artist Drake currently has three. Elsewhere, the Canadian hitmaker has managed to take his talents to the big screen as his new single, Nothing Is Lost, You Give Me Strength, helped ramp up the hype of director James Cameron's latest blockbuster fantasy film, Avatar The Way of Water soundtrack. And yes, it's still number one in the box office. But wait till Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania comes out. It will knock that shit out of the number one spot. I can't wait for that shit to happen. And I am going to review that for my other platform that I do on a weekly basis, which is Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast Review Show. If you haven't heard any of the episodes over there, please feel free to listen on Spotify, iHeartRadio, of course, very important. And of course, you can watch on YouTube as well as other streaming platforms as well. So there you have it right there. And that's about it, man. That's about it right here. So um all right, so that's about it for episode 233. And we're gonna get into a very last segment of the night, which is going to be stream choices on the go, man. Let's get into it right about now. Yes, you know what to do for everyone that's listening. If you're in the New York area or any other state whatsoever, international, wherever you're from, whatsoever, you like what you heard in today's episode, and along with the topics and stuff like that, please feel free to show some love by following Off the Meat Rack Chainz New York podcast on Facebook and Instagram, alongside with my sports podcast, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, the Sports Edition show. I just recorded episode 55. Be sure to check that out. Tell me what you think about the sports topics and how you feel about them. And alongside with Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, the review show, and myself included, which is G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York, is my primary handle on the gram. So turn on your notifications so you can be in the know on which episodes are going to be dropping. And as a reminder, the episodes are going to be dropped on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, even though I may have skipped certain days because of certain stuff that happened with my other podcast episode recordings. So with that being said, yes, so if you go to the link in bio where it says Linktree/G Money Stacks 555, you're gonna see a whole list of audio streaming platforms where you can see um where you can listen to the episodes. And by the way, you can leave a voice message on anchor.fm/G Money Stacks/message. All right. So, and speaking of Anchor, this is where you can listen to the episodes. You can listen to the episodes of Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York podcast on these streaming platforms. And make sure you subscribe to all of them. And of course, share and all that, and comment and all that other stuff. Starting with Anchor, we are on Audacity, Audible, Audio Burst, Amazon Music, Breaker, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Play FM, Pocket Cast, Podbay, Podfriend, Podopolo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Reason FM, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, the number one app for music, radio, and podcasts. You don't need a credit card to download. You don't need a credit card and debit card to download iHeartRadio and all that great stuff right there. And make sure you follow my other podcast shows that I do on a weekly basis, including this New York podcast show right here. Make sure you follow my sports podcast, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks Podcast, the sports edition show. And make sure you follow Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast review show. That's also on there as well. And of course, finally, but not least, make sure you grab that subscribe button on the YouTube channel page of G Money Stacks 555, where you see all the New York episodes on there as well. In case you miss any of them, don't you worry. Everything's all there. It's all good. It's all gravy. Leave a like and a comment along with the episodes and topics. And of course, click on the noni bell so you can be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream, along with the time of the recording and when it starts. Stay tuned for more video content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes, whatsoever. And of course, download the episodes, share the episodes, especially on Spotify, especially on iHeartRadio and everywhere else that I just mentioned. And of course, be sure to share the episodes, share the videos, of course, download the episodes, of course, which is very important. And of course, listen, stream, and watch these episodes whatsoever. And most importantly, make sure you tell a friend to another friend. Spread the word. Word of mouth is important. And of course, be sure to be sure to share the link along with the audio streaming platforms on the list. And when you click on the link, it's gonna have a whole list of audio streaming platforms and stuff like that, including YouTube. Make sure you download these apps onto your iPads, your Android tablets, your iPhones, your Android
phones alongside with your Mac and Dell laptops, Mac and Windows softwares. All right. Any version of the Windows you have, um, download the apps onto your laptops as well. So there you go, right there. I appreciate every single one of you for listening to me on the 233rd episode, Logical Sense, which is dedicated to logic. And I'll see y'all next time. And I hope y'all had a good weekend and everything else. I know Friday and Saturday has been a little brutal and all that crazy shit whatsoever. But next week it's not gonna be in the teens, it's gonna be in between the 50s and the 40s. So I still dress warm as you can so you don't get sick. Make sure you have your scarves, make sure you have your gloves, your winter hats, and all that great stuff right there. And if it's in the 40s and 50s, you don't necessarily need to be layered up with thermal sweaters and two pairs of pants. So most likely you can rock one pair of pants. So there you have it right there. And remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. Trust the process. And if you want something, you have to work hard and you have to earn it. New York wasn't built in a day. It takes time. And you have to have confidence in what you love to do, no matter who supports or not. It doesn't matter. And don't worry about the fucking haters either, because that's that right there. I've been dealing with the fucking shit for like years now. So I'm already, you know what I would do? You know what I would do to the fucking haters and shit, man? I would have to put them in a fucking blender, man. I'll put them in a blender and make a smoothie out of it. With that being said, I'm going to do this right now, man. And this is pertaining to the ignorant haters out there, man, who try to get me, and for those out there on social media with all the fucking bots and stuff. So you are going to be in a blender. So let's get into the blender part. This sounds more fun, actually, man.
All right. Also remember, um, look look for something and find something that makes you smile and makes you happy creatively, mentally, physically, and spiritually while you are on your P's and Q's that gets you into your zone alongside with tunnel vision. All right. So that's gonna do it for me, man. I'm off this shit. Thank you very much for listening and tuning in. And of course, to all the people out there that's been listening and getting the listens up, especially on Anchor, especially on Spotify, everywhere else that you listen to podcasts or whatever. You could have listened to any show whatsoever, but you chose to listen to this New York podcast platform, and it really gives me all the energy, all the joy that I can do and be all I could be as far as being yourself. Being yourself is very important as a podcast content creator. Um, don't try to be somebody that you're not. Very important. Find your voice, follow your goals and dreams, and all that great stuff right there. And yeah, I'm up out of here, man. I'm off this shit. Thank you. Peace and one love. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your week. Be careful out there. Be safe out there, especially on trains, especially anywhere else you trying to go to whatsoever. And don't let any creepazoids hit on you, especially to all the people, all the particular women out there who experience creepazoids messing with them. Just try to walk fast as you can. All right. That's my tip right there, man. I'm off this shit. Thank you. Peace out. Good night, everybody.